Aloha, my name is Mahina Akaka. I am 17 years old and I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I started surfing when I was around 3 years old. I've always been a water baby. I started hula when I was 3 years old as well. It's always been like a combination of ocean and hula. And I think they definitely go together. When I first started shortboarding and then I got a little bit over it. I kind of did both at the same time and I enjoyed longboarding a little bit more. And as I started getting older and started getting more into it, I finally realized that hula goes into surfing so much because longboarding is all about style. And I think hula helps so much with like the gracefulness of on the board, because between 9-0, 9-1, you have a huge dance floor, and that's how I can kind of show my hula on a longboard. Yeah. I am currently homeschooled, but before I went to Mid-Pacific Institute, and I've kind of been hopping around. I went to Halau Kumana, which is a Hawaiian charter school, and then before that, I went to Mahina Elementary. I did hula onie for I think like 4 years. And then I did keiki hula back when Auntie did keiki hula. And it was such a good experience. Oh, I loved it so much. I had my best friend, Keoi, who used to dance hula with me since like baby days, but it was so fun. I like loved every little thing for it, like getting ready and like the flowers, everyone coming together for practices. It was so fun. And I remember this one competition, it was me, Auntie Lei, Nikki. We went to Maui for my solo competition and it was so fun. I remember Sunny Ching being my judge, and then he came up to me and he was like, very good job, Mahina. Come back next year because I feel like you got it. And it was so fun. I think I got second in Kahiko or Awana, but it was so fun. I love Kahiko. I love Kahiko. I love how like fierce it is, and it's so fun. I personally, like in the surfing world, I wouldn't technically call myself a professional surfer, but for everyone else, I am a professional surfer. I have only done a couple contests where I've gotten paid in. I just started the tour for WSL, so I leave for Spain in 3 weeks, and then I go straight to New York, and all of those contests qualify me for Taiwan, which is at the end of the year. The goal is Taiwan. The goal is to win a world title, which is in Taiwan. I have to be top 24. I am currently an equal 9th, which is from one contest. There is a league called HSA, which is Hasa Association, that is all the Hawaii teams. So like Maui, Kauai, and they all come together and have states, which was at Ala Moana Bowls. And then that qualifies you for Surfing America, which is in San Diego, California. And that is a U18 contest. So I won that, which is great. And finally I can check that off. So that is separate from WSL. And then WSL is all ages. WSL, which is World Surfing League. So we have girls from the Philippines, Korea, Japan, all come together and compete in this league. And so there's contests in Spain and New York, but I'm going to Long Beach in New York. So it's like a little beach break. Well, in the surfing league, it's if you're on the championship tour, which is the CT, then you are claimed to be a professional surfer. But I haven't done Taiwan yet because this is my first year doing WSL. As of now, I am an equal 9th. So I'm 9th in the world, which I would qualify for Taiwan anymore. I'm only focusing on WSL and all the other like fun contests in like Mexico or the duct tape. I would say about like 18, 15. Most of them are from North Shore, Waiheke. Is definitely winning Surfing America. That has been like my biggest goal of my life. And I'm so happy I can finally check that off. I'd like to say Out of all my other surfing contests, definitely that's the biggest. My first WSL contest in Noosa, I thought I did really good in because I didn't think that I would get an equal 9, but I did super good and I'm really proud of myself. And yeah, that's just for surfing. But for like all my other sports that I do, I'd say finishing Molokai to Oahu and crossing the channel was a really big accomplishment for me, and I'm really happy I did that. Yeah. I did that last year, but it was super hard trying to fit in like traveling for surfing and training for Molokai. It was pretty tough, but I'm glad I did it. I paddled for Outrigger Canoe Club. Yeah. I've always been like a all-around athlete. I did like water polo and mostly like water sports. I don't know, I just like loved, like whatever I did, I'd love to like just take it to the max and just go for it. So I tried to do that with like all the other stuff I had like piled on top, but my mom's been like super supportive on like all the other sports. She's kind of like pushed me into like, Mahina, try this, and like, I don't regret it. Oh, no, she's not. I bring her and I'm just like, Mom, let's go surf, or she'll be like, Mom, like, come go surf, and like, yeah. But for the most of that, I've just been pulling her into the ocean. For surfing, I feel like the biggest challenge is like longboarding doesn't have too much exposure over shortboarding, and I feel like I want to try to like push that. Like all the longboarders, of course, try to push longboarding into like making it just as big as shortboarding. And I feel like that's a little bit difficult only because shortboarding has so much more money and power and investments and all that stuff. But I think that's like kind of like there's just no exposure in like longboarding. Not no, but like not as much as shortboarding. And it's so expensive. Like the challenges are just like money. Like it's so expensive, and like we try to like out there, like there's some girls that have sponsorships, so they don't really have to worry about it. But then there's like newer girls going into WSL that have like the struggle of that. And also when traveling with a longboard is also a really big challenge. But we try to do like the cheapest way. Like obviously there's like really like cheaper ways. Since I'm on the tour now, I try to like pay it off. So like because I got the equal 9th, you like get a certain amount of money for that, and you like win money the higher up you rank. And so hopefully we'll just do like better and better every contest. I'm sponsored by IPA with Aquila, who shapes my boards, Banon, Inani, which is a jewelry company, and Vertra. Just product. IPA gives me free boards, which I am like so grateful for because they're so expensive. And he like kind of like mentors me, so he like kind of coaches me here and there if he's at the contests, and it helps so much. He's a really big part of my life, so I'm really happy. I travel a lot on my own. I just came back from California about like maybe 3 weeks ago, but yeah, my mom comes back to work and then goes back, but I just stay there with like a bunch of like surf families that like take me in, which I'm very grateful for. I don't know what I'd do without surfing. I love the ocean so much. Like, I think it helps me. I think it's kind of like a detox. Like if I'm ever feeling like stressed, or like I'll literally just go across the street and jump in the water because it like kind of just like shakes off all the bad vibes. But I love it. Yeah. It just makes like sometimes I'm like whatever, like kind of frustrated or whatever, like I don't know, I just feel like it's so powerful, the ocean. And like growing up in it, it just feels like it's like your playground. Like I love it. Well, obviously for every other surfer, it's to win a world title, but I think like steps by steps, I think it's just to rank higher in the WSL tour. And I don't know, just like have like better and better experiences. Every single time I travel, I have such wonderful experience and meet like new great people, and I think that's just like there's more to the competitive life. I want to become an interior designer, but that's just always been like a goal of mine because I like love it so much. After that, I've also been in like kind of like the modeling kind of deal, so that as well. But I definitely want to do something with interior designing later on in life. No. It comes everywhere, especially when all the Oahu kids and Maui kids and Kauai kids all come down. Even if it's like in Spain, like there'll always be aloha, like no matter what. So in California, I think it was all the Oahu kids placed all about first last year. Haley, John, all won the under 18. All the older divisions were taken as the from the Oahu kids, and every time someone wins, they always get cherried up. Like all the Hawaii kids, you see so much support down at the beach, and we have like the Hawaiian flags. Obviously, if someone gets chaired, like we bring a Hawaiian flag every time, everywhere, and then you like carry it behind your back like this, and it's just like so much spirit, and like everyone's super supportive of one another. Like even if you don't know the person, but at the end of the trip, you'll know them very well. It's just like super like aloha. It's so nice. Love it. For surfing, it's definitely been like if you lose like first or second round, like that doesn't matter. Like you lost, get over it. It's time to work harder. And that's just how I look at things. Like if you win, you may learn a little something from it, but you don't really take a step back and be like, okay, this is what I have to do. But if you lose, you take a step back and you're like, this is what I have to do. You need to work harder, go home and push through. So I think just pushing through and just like going right back into the game is like what I've learned, and it helps a lot. I don't know, I like talk to myself sometimes, like in my head, I'll just like, okay, Mahina, like this is your time. Like there's no time to be afraid. Like you've worked hard enough for this. Like you can do this. Like it doesn't matter who's in your heat. Like let's say there is super top of the line girl, like everything, like she's not gonna change your game plan. Like you need to just push through, and you've worked hard enough for this to take a win. It's anyone's game. So that's what I just like think about. After that last one, I was just like, I was kind of more focused on like WSL. I was kind of like, okay, Mahina, like you need to go home and train, like it's your time. But after Surfing America, I just took like a huge breather, and I was like, I can finally breathe. Like I was so scared because it's a day competition. So there's just like, you start at 8 o'clock and there's just no stopping. It's just heat after heat after heat. And at the end of the day, you're just like so tired and exhausted. Like I just went home and I was like, I can finally breathe. I box 3 times a week, and then hula obviously every Tuesday. And then I try to surf like 1 to 2 times a day for like 2 hours or so. And then my mom's trying to drag me to like a stretching class. So we'll see when that starts. But other than that, it's just like training. And then I go to tactical like 1 to 2 times a week. It's like a strength training just for surfing. So he makes a workout for you for surfing, and it's like a 2.5 to 3 hour workout. It's really, really hard. Well, when the waves are flat, I just like train. And then of course I like hang out with my friends because I rarely get to see them if I'm like traveling and stuff. But if there's no waves in town, then I'll like go to Makaha and surf just because I like just got my license. Well, like a year ago, so I'm like super stoked about that. I'll go to like Makaha and surf, or like North Shore and surf. Sometimes East Side, like rarely East Side. But it's just boxing 3 times a week, hula, and tactical. I love boxing. I think it's like a 45-minute class. You box for maybe like 20 minutes. Jump roping, I think, helps so much. I do that for like 30 minutes, and I think that helps a lot. I honestly say jump roping. Diet, well, my mom's a very healthy person, so I don't really have a choice. But I don't necessarily eat like a lot of processed foods. But it's mainly just like, I wouldn't say I'm on the keto because of course I have like my off days, but it's similar to keto. I think it's more about like grace. Like I think hula has so much like just like mellow, like graceful, like dancing moves, and like when I get on the surfboard, I think it definitely applies, because whenever I go to like surf contests, they'll always be like, oh, Mahina Akaka, like best style out there, and I'll be like, thank you so much, because I definitely go to class for my style. Oh yeah, for sure. I took like 2 years off, and my mom's like, you need to go back, you need to go back. But so I went back, and I definitely missed it a lot. So I'd say just go for it. Like you're gonna get some hate here and there, but like it's all good. Like you just gotta go for it and like listen to you, because you're the only person that can make you do what you want to do. So that's what I say. I don't know, I feel like I've gained it over time, just because like of course like, but I was never shy. Like I was never a shy person. I was always kind of like making new friends. Like I love meeting new people. I love introducing myself to like new people. And I think that like comes in handy when I'm traveling. No. Well, obviously for my family, but not like a boyfriend or anything. Oh, definitely has to be a water baby for sure. Just like loving and caring, and like has a lot of respect. Like I always look for that in a person. Like says hi, like aunties, uncles, like introduces themselves. I always care about that. Like that's like my number one thing. And just like caring, and like I don't care if he's shy or not, but it's cool. Just nice. Oh, there's so many definitions. I feel like it's just like kind to one another. Like that's just like my main thing. Like just kind to one another. Like it could be like aloha, like how are you? Like that's like aloha, like love, like showing that you care to one another. And I think that if we had, like we have so much of that here, that's what makes our island so unique, and everyone's just so stoked to come here from like California or Indonesia. Like everyone just loves like the spirit here, and I love that. Australia, I want to move to Australia so badly. Everyone there is super nice too. Like anywhere else in the world that has aloha, I would say is Australia, Noosa, Australia. Everyone is so kind, so welcoming. Like they're so nice, so nice. I love it. I love the vibes there. I want to surf Mexico for sure. I've always wanted to go to Waco, and I also want to shortboard more. So I want to get back into that. But not necessarily like the competitiveness of shortboarding, but just like kind of like learning like turns and like kind of like, but I feel like it'd be really good training, like paddling and all that stuff, and turns and stuff. So I want to learn shortboarding and get back into it. I used to shortboard a lot, and then I think when I was like 10, I started going to Waikiki a lot, and then all the other Waikiki grumps like longboarded and stuff, so I got back into that. Oh, Mary Monarch is on my bucket list for sure. I love competing in like any case, like hula, surfing. Like I love the adrenaline you get when on a stage or competing, and I love it so much. I definitely want to do Mary Monarch. Oh yeah, I live for that. I have like my other friend Ehu. She's like my really good friend, and she's like, her first language was Hawaiian. She's like all like super Hawaiian family, and whenever like I learn a dance from like Auntie Lei, I always teach her. She's super excited, and then she always has like lunches and dinners, like just like Hawaiian style Laie family potlucks, and she'd be like, Mahina, you need to come with me so we can share it, like, and they'll be super stoked. I know Waikiki hula was my favorite. Back when I was like 6 or 7, that was like my favorite. But as for like now, like what we're doing is in class is Laie Kapai. I love that song.